Hello and welcome to the latest instant match reaction from Across the Park podcast. A cold one here outside Anfield after Liverpool have just beat Southampton 4-0. Phil, Jim, obviously joining me outside. You can hear a few people singing in the background. What were your instant thoughts on the game?
Terry, it's a cold night, but I have got a warm, fuzzy feeling inside because that was the performance of champions. I've been talking recently about Liverpool losing Leeds and playing, we battered Man U and then looked a bit crap after that, battered Arsenal. So it was nice to carry the form on, and I'm finally starting to look like what I would call potential champions for this season. Some of that stuff in the first half, scintillating. The two goals that Jota scored come off the back of absolutely fantastic play, and I was particularly pleased to see Andy Robertson getting an assist. He's a real, forget skills and abilities, Andy Robertson is a competitor at heart, and so he's risen to the challenge of Tsimikas and the competition. Some players could become a shrinking violet, some could feel the pressure. Andy Robertson has rose to the pressure, and I love to see it. Yeah,
I think that's an important point. We talked about Tsimikas on the podcast last week, and talked about him in the instant match reaction, me and Gary last week. We were saying he had a great game, and he's done well when he's came in, and we were all advocating, got to keep him in the side because he's deserved his place. I felt a bit for him, getting dropped today, but at the same time, Andy Robertson's came in there, and I thought we might have played Tsimikas against Southampton, and then Robertson would have came in the derby, but he's obviously put Robertson in there today, and he's gone off like a train.
Possibly with the derby in mind, you don't want to be cold.
Him up to speed, yeah. And it's great to see, and I think it shows the importance of that real squad depth, that quality backup that you've got that keeps the pressure on him. When he does drop off in form, there's a live prospect there to come in behind him. He's done a good job for us, so it's great to see. I just want to see us get the same on the right hand side as well. And impossible obviously to get anyone who can do what Trent does, but just a real live prospect, because it does bring out the best in the players. Looking around the rest of the game, obviously 4-0, it felt like a bit of a walk in the park, didn't it?
I'd sum it up as a disappointing 4-0 win.
Your Muzzy's disappointing.
Because we didn't really, we won 4-0, we didn't get out of second game. No. I don't think at all, and there's some good bits. I think I'm not as positive about it as you were, Phil, watching that. I think there's some good stuff, but
I think we eased off in the second half.
Yeah, but getting the early goal 7 minutes into the second half, and obviously the first one in the first half it always changes a game like that. I don't think nobody really stood out for me, and there were a few, I don't know, subpar performances of a few players, but just to pick up on that point you're making about Robbo, you see that off Milner as well. It was good to see Milner get a good chunk of game time today, and there was a few things there. Mane made a few, didn't seem to be quite on his game. He was one of them that felt a bit off it, and he was getting a bit of an easy ride, and then he did it with Milner. Didn't give him the ball, and Milner was straight on it, and he knew it. And it's that little difference that you're saying there with Robbo being a competitor. You need that about the squad. It's good to have Milner back in after a few games out, bringing that in as well.
Do you know what I noticed? We defended well and we attacked well, but we misplayed. Trent over it to pass for Salah. Mane overhit one for Robertson.
Over it a few.
Henderson, after Boss build-up, paid balloons one. Mistakes at the back where Alisson had to bail us out a few times. So without being perfect, we were sort of there were so many mistakes. Too easy.
There wasn't really much competition in terms of what they were bringing, and I think you get that sort of complacency creeps into the game. Then for me, I think it was a good performance. As soon as you get that early goal, it changes the game, doesn't it? And then once we put our foot on the gas and you're talking 3-0 up, it's just it takes the competition away, and it's a very different kettle of fish. Then I take your point. I'm not saying it was a perfect performance, and you're looking at it thinking that there's superlatives all over the pitch. There wasn't, but I think that you said there was no one really stood out. I think there was a few players there that I thought had good games. Alisson was one, had a good game. Made 3 big saves. Just the other one was, we've been saying it for a couple of games. Fabinho's been poor. I think he had a good game. Fabinho. He was doing what he needed to do.
The thing to say about the pair of them is, much as I'm saying, no standout performances, have been amazing. Quite a disappointing 4-0 win. They're being a bit trying to be a bit funny about that, but it must be absolutely horrible to play against. You get the ball as a defender for the oppo, someone's right onto you straight away. You get a pass away, someone's right onto them. And then you need a little mistake somewhere to get half a chance. And then you've got this colossus of a centre half that comes in.
Yeah.
And then if you manage to get past him as well, then the keeper who's done absolutely nothing for about half an hour
is there on point. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's levels, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's just that's there. The other player I think had a good game was Jota. You know what I mean? I thought he looked lively.
Jota the Slaughter.
He was just, obviously got his goal, but I thought he played well. I know I've said in the past that I probably, when Firmino's in there, would probably prefer to play maybe Salah through the middle and put Mane on the right and Jota on the left, but because I just don't think Jota joins up to play in the same way that Firmino does, but I thought he's done really well today, to be fair.
Going back to competition, he is very worthy competition. For any of them who are maybe having a dip, you can't...
Go back and listen. I forgot what season it was. Must have been the season before last. I said that on the first pod of the season on the after the post match. We needed a fourth player in there to keep them through, and we've got that now. We've got 4, and you're only ever going to have 3 probably fit anyway. And if you've got 4, then it's a bit of competition. So, and
it's great to see. We're talking about squad depth and competition in all areas of the pitch, and we've lamented a bit of the injuries we've had in the midfield over the last couple of games, haven't we? But as you said, Milner's on the comeback trail. Henderson played really well there today. Thiago has sort of found his form again. He's came back in. He's starting to really put it together now. Where you're seeing that form that he showed at the end of last season. So starting to see all that midfield. Even the Ox. I think the Ox was unfortunate to lose out today.
The thing today as well. Lads came off the bench. They weren't proper players came off the bench. And again, that felt like a difference.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Just on Henderson, he did have a great game. I just want to throw a little mention in for him.
Because he's your mate and he'll hear it and he'll feel great, and we all know Phil loves the players. Thinks he knows them all, doesn't he? Henzo winning.
Yeah, fucking right, it's Henzo. But yeah, one touch passing. I think sometimes it doesn't stand out because he gets it and it's gone before you notice what he's done. But the speed of turnover of play is actually, you talk about creativity, there's nothing more creative than moving the ball forward fast. Yeah. And I think that's what he's done today.
And in front of him, he's got them players who can give him that option as well. He can just get his head up, and as long as he puts the ball in good areas, he knows they're going to be there.
The nice thing to say about 2 players you mentioned there as well, I think it was Fabinho and Henzo were probably playing centre half this time last year. Isn't it good that they're there in the midfield?
Dramatic difference.
Superb. So anyway, boys, it's nice ahead of the derby, innit?
Yeah,
playing like that, they're getting an absolute high.
Well, exactly, because it was one of them, as you say, on the back of the Brighton, the West Ham games, and now we've sort of got a couple of wins under our belt. It feels like the tails are up, players coming back, you know what I mean, in terms of bolstering the squad depth, and we're going into it strong. Players available. We managed to get the ones off that look like they're probably going to start the game in the derby at around the 60-70 minute mark. So it's great. It's been a great day's work, really, hasn't it? So you know what I mean. You can't ask for more. We've just won 4-0 at Anfield. Doesn't put us top. I think we're still a point behind Chelsea. Obviously, they're playing tomorrow, aren't they? I don't think we got
pressure on them.
But exactly, it's one of them games where we played before. Our rivals, and as you say, the pressure's on them now, so it's really good to see. Your
last comment is you started today by saying he was disappointing. I've got to say it is for awareness and for charity, so I know you'll be sponsoring me for all that, won't you? And I'll drop the link in the comments there for anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely, we will do. Obviously, Jim's doing it for November, so as we always say on all of the podcasts, now that we're out on YouTube, subscribing really helps us, so do hit the subscribe button. The more subscribers get, the more content we can put out. As Jim mentioned, we will put his link if you do want to sponsor him. I mean, look how appalling that Muzzy looks. He's got to walk around with that all November. You know what I mean? So he's nearly there. So if any of our viewers do want to sponsor Jim, we're going to put the link in the description, and that'll be out there. So, anything, pennies, pounds, whatever you've got, it all helps the cause.
Nice one too.
So,
So as you say, a good day's work, and now for a good night work for the boys.
Absolutely. A few pints and let's get in, because I can't even feel my feet. My nose feels like it's going to fall off. But no.
Whiskey nose.
Great win, instant match reaction, live from Anfield. Liverpool won 4-0, up the Reds.